Alright. I think I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to starting items this game, just because I'm so curious how this Galio is going to work. I imagine he's going to go Flask, but I'm not quite sure if that's the case. Let's get these guys lined up here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Swap this, swap this. There we go. That's more like it. Swap my overlay. Now let's take a look at this game. He does have TP to work with, so maybe that's the key. He's going to be able to refill his mana continuously by going to base. Is he going to be going for a tier rush? If that's the case? That seems inefficient. He's actually going to straight go for the Doran's Ring. Alright. I just feel like he's not going to be able to get to this minion wave. We'll see how it goes, but I'm worried for his life. That's what it really boils down to. I'm worried for him. What if he doesn't do well? What if he doesn't have a good time? Alright, so red team, blue team, looking like they're going to meet up a little bit in this tri-brush. High there actually extends forward a bit. Doesn't get caught out. Good shot coming out of Bud 7. Just forces him to take a little bit of damage in HP, but he's not going to mind too much. Able to heal that one back in a second. He throws the ward over the wall just to make sure no one is camping that section. High there is walking forward, trying to gain some gold. Will it pay for his lunch, though? You think it's a lane swap? If it was a lane swap, then I don't think that Galio would have started Doran's Ring. I think that would be a situation where you definitely want to go Flask. Oh, a lane swap between mid and top. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, that would be the optimal play in my book, because Azir can do a much better job of handling Yorick Harass than Galio can. Alright, so standard starts on both sides. Actually, an unstandard start from Diana. A lot of times you see that your blue side jungler will start red buff just because that's where the ADC and support are, so they can give you a hard leash, but it looks like he's going to opt to take that blue buff from the top side of the map anyway, with a little bit of help from Yorick. Alright, so because it's a lane swap, let me go ahead and swap these guys. There we go. George P. Burdell already laying down the pressure there. He's going to... It looks like he took his silence first just to get his passive rolling immediately, and because it's a little bit easier to push that wave forward when you know that your Malefic Visions has a pretty high chance of not making it to the next target. Ooh, good ward snipe coming out of Leona in the bottom lane. Yaksha doing a fantastic job there. But he doesn't have that stun up to really do anything with this trade. He walks forward and takes a big amount of health in response there, but Caitlyn does a fantastic job with the Piltover Peacemaker. Another good ward deny comes out of Yaksha there. And it looks like red team is going to be, for the most part, in control of this bottom lane. Though Charmely's doing an amazing job of landing these piercing lights, even when Yaksha only shows a little bit of vision. Ooh. Alright, Bud 7 taken very low. Might be forced to base here, because Charmely could definitely get forward and get some decent burst down if he's not careful. Crazy Turtle up in the top lane is getting just completely ghouled on. Ooh, hi there, goes forward for a little bit of poke. Alright, Zenith Blade lands, but you don't have your ADC with you. It's going to be an inefficient trade. Charmely recognizes it and steps forward, looks for the kill on Bud 7, can't quite find it, walks under turret, takes a turret shot, gets ignited as well. Piltover Peacemaker doesn't quite land, but he looks like he's going to be safe for the time being. More poke coming out of High there, 12. And it looks like Bud 7 might be in a situation where he can make a comeback. Good dash forward, exhaust goes down onto Charmely, he dashes forward looking for Bud 7, can't quite, no, he does find it in time, but it looks like Yaksha does end up finding the kill with the help of some minions. Very explosive action in the bottom lane there. Very, very ballsy play coming out of both sides. Oh my goodness. Charmely walks away with one. Sona walks away, or High there walks away with one as well. Ribeyes takes a little bit of Malefic Visions under the turret, but he's not going to be too afraid of it. He notices that Malzahar is pretty much out of mana. He himself has some to work with, so he's in a pretty good spot. Alright, top lane, Biospark shows up looking for the kill onto Crazy Turtle. He gets pulled backwards just a bit after the flash. He will go down. Biospark takes 2 turret shots for his trouble, but he was at such high health when he first started that's not too much of an issue. And that's going to be a very, very advantageous gank for the blue team. Blue team looking pretty strong at this early portion in the game. Lucian able to afford the pickaxe, whereas Caitlyn is not. Forced to get a second Doran's Blade and I guess save up for an IE or for a BF sword at least. Try to sustain through it. Ooh, Charmley just not afraid to auto Caitlyn in the face, even in the face of an uneven minion count. Alright, so bottom lane, Charmley just dancing around the lane, trying to maintain control over these minions and hog them all for himself. He looks like he wants to freeze this wave right here in place, or deny these minions to Caitlyn. That's exactly what he's doing. He wants Caitlyn to walk up for some low health minions and then just destroy her HP with that pickaxe. Piercing Light's doing a huge amount of work for him right now, and he's doing a great job of keeping the lane in a position where he himself is very difficult to gank, but he could easily call in a gank for him, his jungler, and potentially set something up. Alright, so hi there 12, going forward once again. Just getting those Hymn of Valors in. Yaksha goes in into high there at 12. Caitlyn's hesitant on who she actually wants to fight. He knows that he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Charmley dashes forward looking for the kill, and Yaksha can't quite close it though. As the flash was burned from Leona, it looks like Charmley takes a turret shot, and now Nautilus is showing up to the bottom lane. He needs to get in there quickly if he's going to get anything done. Good hook down to the high there at 12. Charmley's in a position where he may be able to retaliate some of the damage. He bursts through the shield there, so Nautilus is very low damage at the moment, and he's forced to walk away due to the fact that he just doesn't have the DPS to close. Yaksha comes from around the corner. Can they get the damage down on their Charmley? There's pinging to retreat, but it looks like Ribeye shows up from the Tribe Rush. Can they take out Yaksha before it actually goes down? Ulti gets wasted by Ribeye as an auto attack's going to clean up the kill. It looks like Crescent Strike actually misses on Ribeye as well. He's going to walk away from that fight. Unfortunate that he missed his ulti there, but he's able to clean it up with just a couple more abilities and some auto attacks. So good roam on his part. Like I said, not perfectly executed, but it got the job done. Right. Top lane. Once again, plays Law just putting down so much pressure on this Azir. He just doesn't really care about the amount of poke that Azir can put out in this stage of the game because he knows he can heal it right back up. Even though Crazy Turtle is dashing in right now, ulti goes down from said plays. It looks like the Azir wall is going to come down. He needs to kite a bit if he's going to live through this. He's not going to make it, and he is going to go down. Oh my goodness, dangerous game. Also helping to keep said plays Law alive there, healing him just a bit more so that the minions do not take him out at the tail end of that fight. Yeah, Crazy Turtle needs to walk between those auto attacks and create just a little bit of additional distance if he was going to make that happen. If he was going to make that play work. And yes, Lindage, there's a lot of ghouls. Yeah, that could have been a little bit better played by Azir, but you live and learn. Alright, Biospark looking for the buff steal on blue from Nautilus. He's out of vision here. He's got full vision of this blue buff. Silence goes down onto Nautilus. This smite goes down to steal it away. Flash out from Kuju, but it's not going to mean pretty much anything. Pings are going down on the dragon, and it looks like Charmley is already there, ready to contribute DPS and knock this thing over for the early advantage. I like the rotation coming out. Alright, George P. looks like he's going to return back to the mid lane and pick up this minion wave before it crashes in. It looks like it's actually going to make it there, and he's going to pick up about these 3 and miss the others. Gets the XP. Alright, so right now the status of the game, 2.5 gold lead coming out for blue team, 1 dragon up as well. Crazy Turtle once again dashes in for the shield, but I'm not sure if that's what he wanted. I love the build coming out of Sud Plays LOL as well. Hexdrinker is probably the best item you can get as a melee AD against an AP character. So that's going to do a huge amount of work for him. Malefic Vision's going down onto Ribeyes there. And it looks like the Bulwark's just not going to be quite enough to keep his health from going down a little bit more after that initial tick of healing. Alright, George P doing a great job of just keeping his pressure down. Keeping his pressure up, I'm sorry, in this middle lane. Not too much gank pressure coming out from Nautilus right now. He could die near his blue buff as well, so he's set back significantly. Making since that buff was stolen and he died there. Still trying to get to that point where he can get that ulti now. 10 minutes in, he's still level 5. Oh, that's rough. Alright, so bottom lane matchup. Looks like there's a... oh, my goodness, so much DPS coming out from that calling. Good job on his part. 15 minion lead coming out for Charmley on Lucian. Taking a look at the gold values, he does have enough to pick up a BF sword. He is going to sit in lane just a little bit longer and pick up some minions and keep this pressure up, it looks like. I think he wants to deny as many minions as possible, and since he's not out of mana and he's high on health, he doesn't mind sticking around. Alright, Zed plays low, just completely zoned out by these ghouls up in the top lane. This tier is allowing Yorick to put down so many abilities pretty much whenever he wants to. A little bit of poke goes down there, but it looks like the collapse coming through from Biospark. Not even able to contribute to the fight before Azir just gets completely melted by Yorick's damage. And it looks like he might be in a situation where he wants to freeze this and start denying even more minions. 20 minion lead up in this top lane. It's a very, very rough time for Crazy Turtle. Alright, so looks like Charmley took a second to go back to base, goes ahead and he picked up a new BF sword and some boots for the mobilities, which is always good. Biospark looks like he's hovering around this top side of the map. There's no dragon to be had, so it's a good space to make it an advantage. Gets this Crescent Strike down onto Kuju, pull back on the W, or is that the E from Diana. Crescent Strike lands again, can't quite close the distance though. Azir shows up, Galio shows up, good ulti from Galio. Oh my goodness, they changed that ability so much, it looks so cool now. Alright, Nether Grasp on Crazy Turtle will possibly pick up this kill. Last auto attack does in fact secure it. And now they're going to go through and try to pick up Ribeye. Silence actually misses. He might be able to get one more ability down on this Zed plays low. It's not going to actually pick up that kill. Pick Nasus and then Q farm ghouls. I can see that. Nasus is just that character you want to pick if you want to just get to a critical mass point where no one can stop you. As long as the game isn't over. Oh my goodness, these range minions have little umbrellas. It's the best. Alright. So blue team gets that middle turret off of, once again, just a great roam coming out of Charmley. Just not afraid to leave lane at any point in time and look for different objectives. And that's kind of the signal of higher tier play, in my opinion. Just when you're ready to move, stop what you're doing and move to something else completely. Give up farm, give up pressure, give up XP to get something for the greater good. Get something for the entire team. Zenith Blade comes out and lands onto Hyde there. Good stun is going to come out, and it looks like Hyde there flashes out. Gets taken out with the Ignite from Leona anyway. Yaksha kind of carrying that fight there. Charmley turns around, doing good damage to Bud 7. Another TP comes through as well. Galio's going to show up to the fight there. Can he make a difference? He shows up and gets the Q down onto Charmley. Charmley has to flash out over the wall. He's on the hunt now. now. Q goes over the wall and actually picks up the kill. Good snipe on his part. Charmley actually is resurrected by the Yorick, and he's going to try to take out the Nautilus with his last remaining life. Forces the flash out. He gets in, but is just in time to pick up the Galio ulti. Dash through from Diana on Biospark, or Biospark on Diana onto Ribeyes. Ribeyes trying to walk away, throws up the Bulwark, heals for just a bit of health, and it looks like he's going to be able to get away. Yaksha maybe not as lucky. Oh my goodness, Caitlyn takes a knee, and it's not enough damage. Oh my goodness. Alright, so that team fight just so explosive there, and at the tail end of it, it's just in time for the spawn of this dragon. Red team does have it warded. They're going to go ahead and knock that ward out and then try to burst it down as quickly as possible. No one on the red team is in position to really respond to this objective. Lucian has picked up red buff, and he's just going to dash over the back of the dragon pit to contribute his damage and help his team get that thing picked up. Almost all of the outer turrets are down for red team. Blue team has one turret for their side down up in the top lane, and I guess Azir was able to knock it over on that last roam play, where Yorick TP'd down into the bottom lane. Might be a situation where Blue might want to rotate up into the top side of the map since Dragon has already been taken out, and then go ahead and 4-man, 5-man push that turret down, just brute force it. Charmley just gets some good damage down onto Bud 7, double shot goes through, and one more crit will take away the life from Caitlyn. Bud 7 just in a hard position here. He's managed to catch up and farm, but Charmley's been running around the entire map, getting and creating advantages for the rest of his team. Oh my goodness. Okay, Biospark in the mid lane. Never Grasp gets thrown down on him. Good wall comes out from Azir, and it looks like the taunt actually brings them in anyway. They can't walk past the wall, but they are still auto-attacking in plays. Crazy Turtle and Ribeyes trying to get the chase down. George P not able to get away. Throws down the Ignite, as well as one more Malefic Visions to try to get the kill on Galio. It won't be enough, but Charmley is there to clean. He decides to let Ribeyes try to get away from the fight, and he turns to try to take out Crazy Turtle. Crazy Turtle burning down from red buff, but he's able to walk out of it. Ribeyes is actually going to try to fight Charmley in his own jungle. Oh my goodness, Bulwark making him so resilient against these double shots. Good stun from over the wall onto Hive there, and Yaksha is able to make the play from inside the dragon pit to pick up the kill. Charmley is waiting for that Bulwark to go down, but ends up just getting resolute smote. Red buff passed on to Ribeyes. A very long chase fight there in the blue side jungle. Charmley trying to be very patient there. Doesn't want to give Ribeyes health back, but it ends up being his own demise. Alright, red team going to respond with a mid lane turret push. Bud 7 trying to get as much damage down as he can. Biospark misses the Crescent Strike, which means he doesn't have too much damage left, but that third strike auto can do some additional work. George P. Burdell trying to catch up so he can land the Malefic Visions. If he can get it, he got it. And it looks like Biospark's going to pick up the kill anyway. Top side of the map, it looks like he might be grouping to get a dive down on this Azir. I would do it. He doesn't have any ulti right now, and Said Plays Law can just ult himself and take a bunch of turret shots. He goes through, and there you go. Pretty easy dive there. So many fights happening. Ribeyes in the mid lane goes in on George P. Burdell. He's got that red buff to help him slow. It looks like he's going to end up backing up here since his Bulwark is down. And he doesn't have the ulti up in time. Idol of Durand would definitely have sealed that kill. But he's landing so many resolute smites right now. The Nether Grasp is going to do some work, but not enough to pick up the kill. A quick Idol of Durand picks up the kill there, and it looks like top side of the map, blue team just owns this entire real estate as they push towards top lane inner. They're actually going to take this time to recall instead of getting the damage down on that turret, even though they're both near full HP. I'm not sure if I agree with that decision. Argento Lupo joins the chat. Welcome, sir. Glad to see you, friend. Hi there. Goes ahead and gets some poke down onto Ribeyes. Ribeyes doesn't know if anyone's near. Good stun comes out of Yaksha. It looks like he's going to be cleansed out, though. Charmley is trying to get away from this fight. Oh my goodness, Zenith Blade landed there, but it was the culling that actually kept Caitlyn from joining. Yaksha trying to catch up to Charm, gets the stun down underneath the turret. Like, one more, if that auto goes through, Charmley can potentially pick up a kill. Nope, Zenith Blade turns and lands. Biospark turns away from Yaksha, looks away from the freebie kill because he knows his team is there to collapse. Good decision making. I didn't quite see it, but see it now. Looks like Biospark is trying to get in range. Good flash actually just stops the Moonfall pullback there and allows Caitlyn to walk away from his, with his life. Fatal finish. Hi Stretch, I like your face. Thank you, Fatal. Thank you so much. Alright, once again, more fighting in the enemy jungle here. Blue team loves to try to push forward and get these minor objectives, I'm going to call them. These buff camps, maybe Gromp as well. The chickens are also kind of an objective too because they give you that vision control on your jungler. Said Plays Lol is doing such a good job of zoning out Ribeye with these ghouls, keeping his health high despite the fact that he's taking these turret shots. Throws down the ulti there. Yaksha joins the mix, gets the stun onto Said Plays Lol. Zenith Blade lands as well. Ribeye can't fully commit because there's another full enemy team still there. Said Plays Lol's Ghost actually tanked up a huge amount of turret shots there for him and allowed his team to really just brute force that tower down. Top side of the map, it looked like Razir was trying to force down a turret, but Charmley caught him with his pants down, just completely negating that push, and then forcing him back into the base. George P. Bradell catches out Yaksha in his own jungle. He doesn't have enough damage to knock him over quite yet, though. It looks like the ulti from Leona is going to lock George P. in place and force him to turn back into the Galio taunt. Galio kiting backwards. He doesn't have the damage to pierce through this bulwark, though. No one has the damage to pierce the bulwark. It's doing so much work for Galio right now. Ulti comes out from Nautilus to just try to get him out of this fight. Hook actually just barely misses the wall and he doesn't get the pull forward. Even if he had, Biospark was there to get the cutoff path as well. It's got plenty of movement speed with those boots 2 to Nautilus's boots 1. So, he might have gone down regardless. Alright. So it looks like blue team's definitely in the driver's seat of this game. 4 turrets to run 1, 2 dragons to none, and a 6k gold lead to sit on and really play around with. They can really make some risky plays. Actually, they can just play as safe as they want to at this point. Just keep making these pick plays where people just roam around. They love these jungle skirmishes because the tight corridors allows for a situation where no one wants to sit on to the void puddle, whatever that move is. What is this? Null zone from Malzahar. And no one wants to be in a position where they get 5-man crescendoed. Ribeyes gets nether grasped in place. Said Plays Lol tries to respond and slow down Ribeyes as much as possible. He throws down the Righteous Gust to try to get away. He's trying to close the distance. Slow goes down. Ribeyes is able to get him with the Ghoul of Famine. Oh my goodness, good hook goes down to Said Plays Lol. Hex Drinker saves his life for the time being. Is he able to heal up enough off of the Ghoul in order to keep him up? Uh-oh, Yaksha and Bud7 show up on the back end of the fight. George P. Burdell is going to walk backwards and throw down a bunch of damage on Bud7. Malefic Visions lands and he walks away. Charmley walks away with the kill though because of red buff. Yaksha walks out of the fight, leaving Kuju. No! He actually gets taunted. I mean, he gets danced. Whatever the CC is, it's a dance, but you know, it's kind of a stun thing. Why did Galio ult not taunt Diana there? It did, but because of location, forced autopath to go around the wall. Yes, that is correct. It did taunt her, but she was forced to actually go around that corner that she was at. Alright, so blue team still in the driver's seat. There is a dragon live for them to take. There's some vision control on the entrance towards it from red team, though, that blue team hasn't quite seen. It looks like they're going to pick up this ward here and the ward in the Dimple Brush, so a good 2-for-1 on that usage of the sweeper there. There is one more in the pit, though, and Galio is in a position where he can try to get some damage down and maybe get an open-air team fight. That's exactly what red team wants. They want a team fight where their team is in a position where they can just get guys and get a lot of space to maneuver. Alright, on the backside, Said Plays Lol gets the damage down on a Bud7, and that's what I'm talking about there. York does a surprising amount of damage when he's built correctly, and with the amount of items that York's got right now, he puts out a huge amount of DPS. Ribeyes is turning onto George P. Bradell. Another Malefic Visions goes down before the Crescent Strike hits from Biospark. Biospark gets the last dash there for the kill. Lunar Rush doing fantastic work there. And blue team red team forces blue off of the dragon with just scattered skirmish team fighting. You don't want to have this. You gotta get your guys together, get a good Nautilus ulti down, and then just force them into where you want to fight. That's all you have to do here, and it's rough. I understand, because the blue team's pretty far ahead at this point in the game, and you don't want to take too many risks, and it's difficult to get everyone together at the same time because the death timers are disjointed. But you really have to sacrifice some things so you can get a lot of something else. And Cosmic Gator, aka Nate, aka Dunk Prophecy, aka Browning something, I actually chose to cast solo tonight. Eric wanted to duo with me, but I said, you know what? Let me fly solo, see if I can't get a little bit more chat room response, interact with the chat a little bit more and get some practice on that, because that's something I found myself really struggling with. But it looks like Crazy Turtle goes down in the mid lane. Charmley's still chasing out on Bud 7. His dash is going to be up in a second. Zenith Blade lands underneath the turret. Good stun. Cleanse actually comes through. Slow comes down from the ultimate as well. Caitlyn takes a knee. This time it is enough damage. Yeah, and everyone was wondering where you were at, because you were the one who really urged me to cast again, and then you weren't here to show up. You weren't here to support me, and I felt lonely and a little bit sad, to be honest. Not really. I'm fine. All right, so blue team driver's seat, yada yada yada, still pushing forward. Charmley just so aggressive in this bottom side of the map. He feels like he owns it, and he has the right to feel like he does. He's pretty high on farm, in fact, the top in the game. He's got the second highest amount of kills in the game as well, only underneath Said Plays LOL on that Yorick game. But he really needs to get some lifesteal under his belt pretty soon if he's going to keep making these aggressive pushes. He does have a huge amount of damage up on Caitlyn, but you got to protect the snowball at some point. Yeah, he did ask to cast with me, but I said I wanted to go solo. Just this one time. Honestly, I very rarely go solo, and it's always intimidated me. But I've got to get it resolved because I've got things I need to work on. I would have been able to shoutcast anyway. I guess so. Alright, so blue team looking like they're going to gather up in the top lane. They don't have their Lucian with them there, though. This would be the time where red team just wants to find a fight. Nautilus needs to literally just walk up and ulti anyone. Ulti anyone. Ulti anyone. Ulti anyone, they walk away. They're not going to get the fight that they're looking for, because the fight that they're looking for here is literally any fight. They're not going to... It's... Okay, so they're going to try to respond to Lucian. Blue team's going to play deny or stop the ports. They successfully stop the ports. Leona goes back to base. Now red team is left with a significant amount of CC not around. Ribeyes gets a decent taunt down on George P. Burdell. Malefic Visions does indeed land. He's actually not taking too much damage because of the magic resist he has built. Flash forward has gone through. Uh-oh. He has throw down another bulwark, which allows him to live there. Ulti comes out from Sona to keep her alive just a little bit longer, but she's getting chased around. Hi there flashes forward. Yaksha has a little bit of a movement speed buff from the Righteous Gust. George P. turns back around to land one more Malefic Visions, but Zenith Blade lands straight into the stun. The shield bash to the face. Ribeyes gets a Malefic Visions toss on him. Can he get the bulwark up in time to not die? It actually just ticks down. Oh my goodness. I'm slightly frustrated because, like, it was one of those situations where they needed to make a decision that second or lose pretty much everything. And they chose to hesitate and send pretty much everyone back. Almost everyone tried to recall there to stop Lucian, when they should have just taken the 4v5, given up the inhib, and taken some sort of advantage. Because you're 11k behind. You can't afford to give up a 4v5 situation. Especially when the one that's missing is one of the carries. I honestly think that had they all stayed, they would have lost the turret, yes. They would have lost the inhibitor, yes. But they probably would have kept one of their Nexus turrets. Because home guards exist in this game. Alright, so Ribeyes just trying to get some greed farm there. Another grasp goes down on him. It looks like he's going to try to get out of the fight still. Idol of Durand is almost up in a couple seconds. Can he get it in time? Azir is doing as much work as he possibly can to peel these guys off his Galio, and he is successful in doing so. Alright, silence goes down on Kate. Can they take him down? Second place Law did flash forward. Good stun from Leona. This is the team fight that Red Team needs to look for. They've got a good situation under one of their Azir Industries turrets. Good snare turnaround from Kuchu. Probably saves the life of Azir there. And it looks like they don't quite get any kills there. No, actually, I take it back. They did get the York. But the rest of them are going to be able to walk away and defend this inner turret. They just need to get back to base, heal up as quickly as possible, and then get in position to defend these towers. They also still have the bulwark to work with. Uh-oh, Idol of Durand goes down, and he falls over. I'm not quite sure why he didn't opt to go back to the base there. I tried to recall in the brush. Wasn't he in a position where he could have walked through the base door, like a while back? Not even that. I don't know. Maybe they chased him and he wasn't looking. Alright, Hook goes down onto high there, pulling him back into the fight, but Charmely just does so much damage that he just knocks over Azir immediately before any damage can go down. Charmely he's in a situation where he doesn't have enough lifesteal and kills himself on Nautilus's Thornmail. Thornmail carries games. I need help with jungle. I have no idea what I'm doing there, and I was forced into it after stating I didn't know how to jungle. Dude, just farm normally than you would expect. Farm more than you would normally expect a jungler to farm. That's how you get yourself comfortable with jungle early on. Just kill the minions that are in there, and just kill them as efficiently as you can. Like that's what I'm still in that stage too, where I'm like, all right, I'm not quite sure what I should be doing, but I'm gonna kill these minions and get myself get myself somewhat strong before I try to force anything. Because I find that if you try to gank and force something too early and you die, then you're gonna be really in a hard pressed.